I'm going to introduce Max Fallin, who is one of the wilder art students I've ever encountered. First, because he didn't come into art right off the bat. He kind of came in it through the back door via classics and an interest in making processes and methods that he thought I might be able to help him investigate. Second, because he just never went away after that. So now I'll introduce you to Max, a studio art minor who should have been a studio art major.
I definitely think that contradiction is one of the things that I'm most invested in. The spikes give a sort of protection to the wearer. It's not something that people can get near you, but also it's dangerous to the person wearing it because they're not affixed in such a way that they're not going to hit you. Like, you have to be careful to keep your arms in a certain place so that you don't accidentally stab yourself with the spikes. I also think that a lot of my art, I'm exploring concepts of masculinity and a societal expectation of masculinity that I take part in. I think that that's part of that contradiction, in that I am masculine, I do masculine things like blacksmithing and woodworking and wrestling, but also I like my art to focus on those conceptions of masculinity, the possible flaws of that, and just what that means for someone to experience life that way. Now I have like a blacksmithing business basically, and I wouldn't have gotten into that if it wasn't for people like pushing me towards that and like telling me to try those new things and like giving me the space to do that. Dr. Foss, who's my advisor and he's one of the classics professors, he lets me keep my forge on his property because, of course, DePauw isn't going to let me keep a forge on campus, which is completely fair. But he still wants me to be able to do that work while I'm on campus, and so he lets me keep a bunch of my stuff in his shed and then get it out and work. And that's not something that I feel like I'm going to encounter at most schools. I don't think that I ever would have gotten into any of this had I not gone to DePauw. And I think that a big part of that is having people like Professor Foss and Lori to give me a space to create, and to not only give me a space to create, but then to be invested in what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and pushing me to do more, do like new things, and to focus on my development as an artist or as a student or as an archaeologist, and not just getting the grade. I'm not just doing this because, this is what my professor wants and it's gonna get me a 95. I'm doing this because I'm invested in it and my professors are invested in it, and that makes it something that I'm more deeply emotionally involved in the creation of my art and in the production of papers or projects, whatever I'm doing for classics. I think that that's not an aspect that you can get without those mentors giving you that space to grow.